All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Meenakshi Sant and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch physical distribution of property cards under Swamitva scheme today through video conferencing. Says the scheme will bring big positive change for rural India. Home Ministry asks states to probe rape cases within 2 months. Centre issues notification for CBI probe into Hathras incident. US says time has come to accept that talks will not make China change its aggressive behavior. In chess, Nihal Sareen emerges winner in Chess.com's 2020 Junior Speed Online Championship. In French Open tennis, Rafael Nadal to take on Novak Djokovic in the men's singles final today. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. Now, the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the physical distribution of property cards under the Swamitva scheme today through video conferencing to transform rural India and empower millions of people. During the event, the Prime Minister will also be interacting with some of the beneficiaries. Mr. Modi has said that the Swamitva scheme will bring a big positive change for rural India. In a tweet, he said the scheme will prove to be a milestone in the lives of crores of Indians. He said under the scheme, property cards will be given to people of about 6.62 lakh villages of the country in a phased manner. Mr. Modi said villagers will get an official document of ownership of their property, which will empower them. He said through this, they will be able to avail many financial facilities, including bank loans. Swamitva is a central sector scheme of the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, which was launched in April this year with an aim to provide the record of rights to village household owners in rural areas and issue property cards. The scheme is being implemented across the country in a phased manner over a period of 4 years and will cover around 6,62,000 villages of the country. More from our correspondent.
The launch will enable around 1 lakh property holders to download their property cards through the SMS link delivered on their mobile phones. This would be followed by physical distribution of the property cards by the concerned state governments. These beneficiaries are from 763 villages across 6 states, including 346 from Uttar Pradesh, 221 from Haryana, 100 from Maharashtra, 44 from Madhya Pradesh, 50 from Uttarakhand, and 2 from Karnataka. The move will pave the way for using property as a financial asset by villagers for taking loans and other financial benefits. This is the first time ever that such a large-scale exercise involving the most modern means of technology is being carried out to benefit millions of rural property owners. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
We spoke to one of the beneficiaries of the scheme, Balkrishna Sharma of Pindgaon in Harda district of Madhya Pradesh.
नाम बालकिशन शर्मा, ग्राम पिड़गांव में रहता हूँ मैं। गांव में पहले भूमि स्वामी नहीं थे हम। गांव में इसको आवास की जमीन बोलते थे। हम जिसमें रह रहे थे 100 साल से। 100 साल रहने के बाद हमारे पिताजी का हमारा कोई इस पर अधिकार नहीं था। पिताजी खत्म हो गए, इसके बाद मेरा कोई अधिकार नहीं आया। अब मोदी जी ने इतना बढ़िया इसका पट्टा लागू करा, भूमि स्वामी बनाया हमें। इसके लिए मैं मोदी जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा। बैंक से लोन मिल जाएगा इस पे। आने वाले समय में हमारे बच्चे के नाम पे भी आ जाएगी ये।
The government has taken steps to cool down the recent increase in retail prices of tur and urad for the welfare of consumers and to augment the supply of these pulses. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution said, in order to make the retail intervention more impactful, offer price for pulses for retail intervention has been modified to the minimum support price MSP or the dynamic reserve price DRP, whichever is lower. The ministry said, accordingly, Dhuli Urad is being offered to states for retail intervention at the rate of 79 rupees per kilo for K18 stock of Kharif 2018 and 81 rupees per kilo for K19. Similarly, tur is being offered for retail intervention at 85 rupees per kilo. The ministry said that the central government has made this offer to all the states and union territories to lift the stocks in bulk or in retail packs of 500 gram and 1 kilogram depending on the requirement. The retail packs are being provided for retailing fair price shops of PDS and other marketing and retail outlets of the state government such as dairy and horticulture outlets. The ministry said to moderate the price volatility of pulses and onions, especially in consuming centers, buffer stock was built under Price Stability Fund PSF during 2015-16 for carrying out price stabilizing interventions. Under PSF, building buffer stock of pulses up to 20 lakh metric tons was approved in the current year for effective market intervention. The Union Government has said that paddy procurement for Kharif marketing season 2020-2021 is going on smoothly in the procuring states. So far, over 32,12,000 metric tons of paddy have been procured from over 2.83 lakh farmers, with MSP outflow of around 6,065 crore rupees. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution in a statement said that based on the proposal from the states, approval accorded for procurement of 30.70 lakh metric tons of pulse and oil seeds for Kharif marketing season 2020 for Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, Gujarat, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. It said sanction for procurement of 1.23 lakh metric tons of copra for Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala was also given.
The Union Ministry of Agriculture has said that the export of essential agri-commodities for the cumulative period of April-September 2020 has increased by 43.4% to over 53,626 crore rupees as compared to nearly 37,397 crore rupees in the same period last year. The ministry said major commodity groups which have recorded positive growth during April to September 2020 as compared to April to September 2019 are groundnut, refined sugar, wheat, basmati rice and non-basmati rice. It said India's agriculture export of essential agricultural commodities during September 2020 is 9,296 crore rupees against export of 5,114 crore rupees during September 2019, showing an increase of 81.7%. In order to boost agri-exports, the government announced Agriculture Export Policy 2018, which inter alia provides for a cluster-based approach for export-centric farming of cash crops like fruits, vegetables and spices. The ministry said recently the government has also announced Agri-Infra Fund of 1 lakh crore rupees to improve the agri-business environment, which will promote agri-export in due course. Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Dr. Jitendra Singh has said that so far, interview for jobs has been abolished in 23 states and 8 union territories. He said this is a follow-up to the abolition of interview for Group B non-gazetted and Group C posts in the central government ever since 2016. Dr. Singh said in the past there had been complaints, grievances and allegations about marks in interviews being manipulated to help certain favoured candidates. He said the abolition of interview and considering only the written test marks as merit for selection offers an equal level playing field to all the candidates. The minister said several states have also reported heavy savings on the state exchequer because quite a substantial expenditure was being incurred in conducting interviews of candidates whose number often ran in thousands and the interview process continued for several days together.
The BJP Central Election Committee met in New Delhi yesterday to discuss the names of party candidates for assembly elections in Bihar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, BJP President JP Nadda and other senior leaders attended the meeting at party headquarters. In Bihar Assembly elections, a large number of voters have been provided the right to exercise their franchise through postal ballots in view of COVID-19. Right to use postal ballots has been provided to voters of 80 years and or above, people with disabilities, PWD, and COVID-19 patients. Additional Chief Electoral Officer Sanjay Kumar Singh said that 10.85 lakh old age voters have been provided this right.
हमारे पास 80 वर्ष से ज्यादा उम्र के 10,85,000 मतदाता हैं और ये पोस्टल बैलेट की सुविधा उन्हें भी है जिस प्रकार से पीडब्ल्यूडी वोटर्स को। पीडब्ल्यूडी वोटर्स के लिए बहुत सारे इंतजाम हैं। एक तो उनके लिए पोस्टल बैलेट की सुविधा है और जिसकी प्रक्रिया यह है कि जो वोटर हैं उनको नॉमिनेशन की पहली तिथि जो होती है, जिस दिन अधिसूचना निर्गत होती है, उसके 5 दिन के अंदर अपने बीएलओ के माध्यम से पोस्टल बैलेट के लिए एप्लीकेशन, एक फॉर्म है 12D, उसमें देना होता है। जैसे ही अब आप देंगे तो आपको पोस्टल बैलेट इशू कर दिया जाएगा।
In Maharashtra, Bharatiya Janata Party will hold a statewide agitation on Monday and Tuesday against the rising incidence of atrocities against women and state government's decision not to allow the opening of temples. The party's chief spokesperson, Keshav Upadhyay, State President of BJP Women's Wing, Uma Khapre, and State Vice President of Party's Women's Wing, Chitra Wagh, announced this at a press conference yesterday. Ms. Khapre said all the key office bearers of the party, including State BJP President Chandrakant Patil, will participate in the agitation tomorrow. Party's chief spokesperson Keshav Upadhyay said, along with this, a statewide celebration will be held to welcome the 3 agricultural laws enacted by the Modi government. He added that the celebration will begin tomorrow with a tractor yatra from Varvan to Chaufala in Pune district. He said State BJP Chief Chandrakant Patil will participate in this program too.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch physical distribution of property cards under Swamitva scheme today through video conferencing, says the scheme will bring big positive change for rural India. Home Ministry asks states to probe rape cases within 2 months. Centre issues notification for CBI probe into Hathras incident. US says time has come to accept that talks will not make China change its aggressive behavior. In chess, Nihal Sarin emerges winner in Chess.com's 2020 Junior Speed Online Championship. And in French Open tennis, Rafael Nadal to take on Novak Djokovic in the men's singles finals today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
3 steps to stay protected and stay safe from COVID-19. Wear face mask, 2 gaz ki duri to maintain social distancing, maintain hand and face hygiene.
Home Ministry has asked states and union territories to complete probe in rape cases within 2 months after reporting of an incident. It said any failure on the part of police to adhere to the mandatory requirements in crime against women will be inquired and necessary action will be taken against officers concerned. In a fresh advisory by Home Ministry, states and UTs have also been asked to monitor the cases on the investigation tracking system for sexual offences to ensure that suitable action is taken on the charge sheet of the accused in a timely manner. Home Ministry said there should be compulsory registration of an FIR in case of a cognizable offence under the CRPC. It said the law also enables the police to register an FIR or a zero FIR in case the crime is committed outside the jurisdiction of the police station in the event of receipt of information on commission of a cognizable offence, which includes cases of sexual assault on women.
Central government has issued a notification for the CBI to take over the probe into the alleged gang rape and death of a 19-year-old woman in Hathras in Uttar Pradesh. Officials said the notification has been marked to a suitable branch of the Premier Agency and probe teams will be dispatched to the crime scene along with forensics experts immediately after the registration of an FIR. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath had recommended a CBI probe into the Hathras case. Ministry of Health has said that India has crossed the landmark milestone of more than 60 lakh recoveries from COVID-19 infection. In a tweet, the ministry said that this has also sustained India's leading global position as the country with maximum recovered cases. The 5 top states with maximum caseload are also contributing more than half of the total recoveries. These states are Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu.
In Karnataka, the total number of COVID-19 positive cases crossed 7 lakh mark after an addition of 10 10,517 new COVID cases yesterday. On the other hand, 8,337 people recovered from the disease and discharged from various hospitals in the state. So far, 5,69,947 people have recovered from the disease. 102 COVID patients lost their lives, and the total fatalities have increased to 9,891. The state conducted a record 1,12,770 COVID tests yesterday, and the total number of tests have gone up to 58,52,300. More from our correspondent.
In Karnataka, the Vidyagama scheme of the Education Department has come under criticism for allegedly spreading the coronavirus. Vidyagama is a scheme to reach out to the government school children during the pandemic for the benefit of socially weaker section to continue learning. Primary and Secondary Education Minister S. Suresh Kumar said that Education Department will get reports from across the state to know whether the children were tested positive because of the teachers. He said that government decided to temporarily stop the Vidyagama scheme. He further said that as many as 47 lakh children are benefited from the Vidyagama scheme, and so far there is no confirmation about the children being infected through the scheme. R. Murthy, AIR News, Bengaluru.
In Tamil Nadu, the number of COVID-19 patients under treatment remains at 44,150. The recovery rate has improved to 91.66%. In the last 24 hours, 5,242 people were tested positive for the disease, while 5,222 patients recovered. Meanwhile, donations keep pouring into the Chief Minister's Relief Fund for the state's COVID-19 preventive and relief measures. We have a report.
The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's Relief Fund has got more than 394 crore rupees as the public contributions since the outbreak of COVID-19 for the ongoing efforts to contain the pandemic. The money is being spent for health infrastructure capacity enhancement and other essential works to mitigate the sufferings of the public. The contributors vary from big corporates, small entrepreneurs, the employees of the government, public sector and private industries, and the common public. It is noteworthy that several school students from different economic backgrounds came forward to offer their savings from their pocket money. And a release from the state government says the contributions keep pouring in. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
Odisha has reported the recovery of another 3,885 COVID-19 patients yesterday. With this, the total recovery in the state has gone up to 2,24,273. Our correspondent reports the active caseload has also come down to a little over 28,000 as of now.
The COVID-19 treatment architecture laid out by the government of Odisha include plasma therapy on the one hand and favipiravir on the other. While favipiravir antiviral is being administered with strict do's and don'ts to home-isolated patients to help them from slipping into serious condition, plasma therapy is being prescribed for seriously ill patients in the hospital. The State Health Administration, with a view to preventing further fatalities that has crossed the 1,000 mark, has been upscaling the availability of plasma through 6 plasma banks and of favipiravir through more than 1,100 registered medical stores across the state. Girish Chandra Das, Bhubaneswar.
A total of 2,866 fresh cases of COVID-19 were recorded in Delhi yesterday, taking the infection tally in the city to over 3,06,000. Delhi government has said that over 2,78,000 people affected with coronavirus have been cured so far. In the last 24 hours, 2,766 people recovered and 48 deaths were reported in the national capital, taking the toll to 5,740. Presently, the total number of active cases in Delhi is 22,007.
In Bihar, COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 94%. Active cases in the state is continuously decreasing. At present, 11,014 patients are undergoing treatment in various hospitals of the state. Out of 1,94,966 positive cases, 1,83,007 patients have recovered from the infection in the state so far. Gujarat recorded 1,221 new corona cases during the last 24 hours. Total 1,30,897 patients recovered from COVID-19 so far in the state. Our correspondent reports the recovery rate has reached up to 87.2%.
The total cases detected so far in Gujarat have crossed 1,50,000 mark. 1,456 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. More than 49,61,000 tests have been carried out in the state till yesterday. Maximum 252 new cases reported from Surat, while Ahmedabad recorded 176 new cases. At present, total active cases in the state are 15,958. 10 patients died yesterday, taking the total death due to COVID-19 up to 3,560. Meanwhile, Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation has added 13 new areas in the micro-containment zone following detection of new cases. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has expressed satisfaction over the increase in number of COVID-19 tests in the state. More than 1,17,26,000 tests have been conducted in the state so far. Our correspondent reports Uttar Pradesh is the highest sample testing state in the country.
Additional Chief Secretary, Medical and Health, Amit Mohan Prasad said that cases of COVID-19 infections are decreasing in Uttar Pradesh and caution is required in wake of coming festivals. COVID-19 testing is being done at a rapid pace and 1,76,514 samples were tested in the state yesterday. As of now, a total 1,17,26,000 samples have been tested. A total of 3,87,149 people have been completely treated and discharged so far. The percentage of recovery in the state has now increased to 89.26%. At present, there are 40,210 active cases of corona in the state. eSanjeevani portal is proved very much useful. Now, a total 1,30,286 people have got medical counseling through the app. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
Talking to All India Radio, Dr. Nand Kumar, head psychiatry at AIIMS, New Delhi, said that no medicine to treat COVID-19 should be taken without the prescription of a doctor.
Ivermectin जैसे जनरल एंटीबायोटिक होता है कि हम सर्दी खांसी होने पे खा लेते हैं, वैसे एक एंटीवायरल ड्रग है। इसको बिना सलाह के नहीं लेना चाहिए। एक तो एक महंगी होती है और जब तक डॉक्टर नहीं दे, प्रिस्क्राइब नहीं करे, मत लीजिए इसको। इसलिए इसका एक डोज होता है, एक शेड्यूल होता है, उसके अनुसार लेना चाहिए।
Head of Neurosciences Department of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, Dr. Padma Srivastav says that masking, sanitization and distancing is the need of the hour if we have to fight this pandemic. Dr. Srivastava told AIR News that people have to be more careful in view of the festival season.
The need of the hour right now to combat the COVID pandemic is what has been promulgated by our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji. So eloquently said that actually the vaccine that we have right now is MSD, masking, sanitization and distancing.
This is All India Radio giving you the news.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
United States says time has come to accept that dialogue and agreements will not make China change its aggressive behavior. U.S. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien lambasted at China, saying it has attempted to seize control of the LAC with India by force as part of its territorial aggression. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has revealed that the Chinese government has deployed some 60,000 troops along the line of control with India. Pompeo also hit out at China for the threats it poses to the Quad countries. He said Chinese Communist Party pose threat to Quad countries India, Australia, Japan and US, the four big democracies and four powerful economies.
Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen has appealed to her Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping to de-escalate military tensions and live up to his promise to never seek hegemony. In a speech on Taiwan's National Day, the President said the international community is becoming concerned about the expanding hegemony of China. China's military has piled on pressure even more than usual this year, sending its warplanes into Taiwan's air defense zone at an unprecedented frequency and sometimes also crossing the median line of the Taiwan Strait.
Some sports news now. In chess, young Indian player Nihal Sarin emerged winner in the Chess.com's 2020 Junior Speed Online Championship in Chennai, beating Russia's world junior number 6, Alexei Sarana, 18-7 in the finals. The title win earned the 16-year-old Sarin $8,776 and enabled him to qualify for the 2020 Speed Chess Championship final, which will feature the world's best players. Sarin had beaten American Andrew Tang, Australia's Anton Smirnov, and Armenian Haik Martirosyan en route the title. Sarin, a former world under-10 champion, will join the Indian men's team that is taking part in the Asian Online Nations Regions Cup Team Championship, which began yesterday. In Indian Premier League cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore rode on skipper Virat Kohli's unbeaten 90 off 52 balls to beat Chennai Super Kings by 37 runs in Dubai last night. Earlier in another match in Abu Dhabi last evening, Kolkata Knight Riders beat Kings 11 Punjab by 2 runs. In today's matches, Sunrisers Hyderabad will take on Rajasthan Royals at 3:30 p.m. in Dubai, and Mumbai Indians will meet Delhi Capitals at 7:30 p.m. in Abu Dhabi.
In French Open tennis, Rafael Nadal will take on Novak Djokovic in the men's singles final today. Nadal entered the final beating Diego Schwartzman 6-3, 6-3, 7-6. Djokovic defeated Stefanos Tsitsipas to set the summit clash with Nadal. Nadal, a 12-time French Open champion, will be aiming to equal Roger Federer's record of 20 Grand Slam titles. In women's singles, Polish teenager Iga Swiatek has become the new French Open champion. She beat the American Sofia Kenin in the final 6-4, 6-1. The 19-year-old Swiatek moves to 17th position in the world ranking.
Several parts of Maharashtra, including Mumbai, received light, retreating monsoon showers yesterday. The Weather Bureau said that monsoon has started withdrawing from North India. Meanwhile, a low-pressure belt has formed in the Bay of Bengal. Therefore, the Weather Bureau has forecast heavy rains in various parts of Maharashtra, including Mumbai, Thane and Konkan for the next 3 days.
Now, let's look at the weather update for the day. The national capital, Delhi, will have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was recorded at 20 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 35 degrees. In Mumbai, there will be partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thundershowers. The minimum temperature was 27 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 35 degrees. Chennai is likely to receive rain or thundershowers towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will hover between 25 and 35 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The minimum temperature in the metropolis was 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 35 degrees. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 34 degrees. The city will have a mainly clear sky. Srinagar and Ladakh will have a mainly clear sky, while the temperature in Srinagar will hover between 5 and 27 degrees Celsius. In Ladakh, the minimum temperature was -2 degrees Celsius and the maximum around 21. Gilgit will experience a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 9 and 29 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, there will be mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature was 13 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 33 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Most major newspapers have carried stories on their front pages relating to the U.S. reaction to the aggressive Chinese stance on the LAC. China has 60,000 troops on LAC. Talks won't work, warns U.S. Headlines the Times of India. The Asian Age adds, Quad impact, Pompeo calls out China's bad behavior. The RBI's affidavit regarding loan moratorium has also been highlighted extensively by the newspapers. RBI opposes loan moratorium extension will hit credit discipline, reports the Indian Express. The Hindustan Times adds, longer break may hit credit discipline, RBI. The advisory by the Ministry of Home Affairs to states on rape laws has also been reported extensively. The Sunday Pioneer headlines, Finnish rape probe in 2 months, MHA. The Times of India notes, dying declaration can't be rejected, says MHA. The Asian Age adds, FIR's medical must in all sexual offence cases, government to states. The Pioneer reports positive news on its front page. India's dailies recovery surpassed fresh COVID cases. And finally, Times of India reports on its front page, Delhi University on a new high, Lady Shri Ram College specs cut off at 100% for 3 courses.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch physical distribution of property cards under Swamitva scheme today through video conferencing. Says the scheme will bring big positive change for rural India. Home Ministry asks states to probe rape cases within 2 months. Centre issues notification for CBI probe into Hathras incident. US says time has come to accept that talks will not make China change its aggressive behavior. In chess, Nihal Sarin emerges winner in Chess.com's 2020 Junior Speed Online Championship. In French Open tennis, Rafael Nadal to take on Novak Djokovic in the men's singles final today. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.